Hi, I'm Bill Tate with Lenoir and Caldwell County History on Facebook. Today we're at the old Lenoir Cotton Mill, which later became Bluebell Incorporated on College Avenue in Lenoir, North Carolina. And we're going to take a little tour of this building, which was built in 1901. I would like to dedicate this video to Joanne Vanoy, and you will see her letter that she wrote that's in this video. She has passed on. And to Bill Bean, who I believe was a supervisor here, and you'll see his name on the elevator sign. I talked with Mrs. Bean, and she said Bill Bean just loved this Bluebell. Bill has also passed on. This is also dedicated to all previous employees of the Lenoir Cotton Mill and Bluebell. This addition was added in the 1950s, and you can see the original wall to the left. This is looking to the right end of the building, which is closest to College Avenue. There will be much more information in the photo slideshow in this video. This is the office area. Now we're going to go into the first aid room, see what's in there. Push button for service. I wonder if anybody would come if I do. Well, I'm back in another room here, off the first aid room, and looking around I see a lot of chair frames. New chair frames. This area has a drop ceiling, but the ceiling tiles have been removed. And this little room off the first aid room was for some kind of patient care, I take it. And here's another room we'll do a walk through of. And it just goes on and on. And another door. That's paneled over. Now we have found another restroom back in the first aid room. Well, let's see what this has.
Ladies and men.
Oh yeah, ladies and men's. And original shelf. Original to the 1950s. Toilet has been removed. Yep, everything's stripped in here. Commode and sink. Now we're going to leave this first aid room. Lots of sinks here, and Bruce and I tend to think that they came from the 50s probably. And an old dolly, I bet that was used here a long time ago. Some kind of a storage box on rollers. Here's some dollies going way back. Who knows how long ago, but I wouldn't doubt but it goes back to the early 1900s.
A lot of the furniture factories had these same dollies.
I've seen them. And there's more, and you can look at these casters. This building was used by Bernhardt Furniture Company in the 1940s for storage, and these dollies may have come from Bernhardt's.
Now, you don't find them with double wheels.
Yeah.
See single.
The stairway to the basement is on your far left where the cans are on the shelf. And a little video back here in this room. Now we're looking at the first aid room where we just came from. This huge original room on the first floor was called the picker room. I'd say we're looking north, are we? There was a minor fire here in the picker room in 1912. Steam heater. And these posts, when you look at them, you'd think they're metal, but they're not. They're wood. Here we have another bathroom, the men's bathroom. And another bathroom right here, which is the ladies', which I just took photos of. And we're back in the men's bathroom. Looks like it's been updated with a blower, ventilation blower. Here's one of the stalls. I take it there used to be a urinal right here. And there's the toilet. Now we're looking towards the bay doors that we opened a few minutes ago for more light. Here's one of the original doors. And a window. This is the large elevator door here in the center of the photo. And now we're at the front of the building. Notice that there is new brick around the garage doors that were added later, I think in the 50s. Looking at these bay doors. And this is the little addition built on here in the corner. I don't know, maybe it was used for an office. This is the front of the building that faces Underdown Avenue. This addition, the front addition, was added in the 50s. I have not yet been in this tower, but I believe those chimneys are strictly ornamental. I don't believe they're functional. Had I known it was going to be so windy today, I would have brought my windproof microphone to use. This smokestack is 100 feet tall. Looks like 4 lightning rods with a ground wire. And the railway was over where you see beyond the smokestack. Back in the day, there were mill houses for the old Lenore cotton mill before Bluebell. I plan to video through these broken windows in the tower soon. So happy to do this before it's all gone. I believe this room was called the opening room, and there used to be a cotton warehouse that was attached to this building. In 1927, a wooden walkway was built from the main building over to this cotton warehouse and opening room. From the historical information I have, I believe that walkway was sheltered. This building was used for Lenore Cotton Mill I don't know about bluebell. A cotton warehouse was attached to the back of this building. There was a fire in that building December 19th, 1916, and didn't do a lot of damage. The fire in this building was December 1916. The roof is giving way though. These huge wooden beams. And the door slid on a track, which it's off of now. Some kind of pressure gauge high up. Don't know what that would have been used for. Hidden by the window frame. Now back in the day, the railway station used to be over here in the foreground. You can see the cleanout for the smokestack. I have not found out what this little building is with the one window and one door. Possibly for maintenance and tool storage. Bruce and I think that there may have been a coal bin surrounded by these cinder block walls. You can still see traces of coal. The furnace room was where you see the big door on the right. Looking to College Avenue, the right end of the building. To your left, down by the railroad, was a cotton waste storage building that was used when it was Lenore Cotton Mill. Where you see concrete block like this instead of brick, original brick, is where they have added on over the years. And on around. I'm on a loading dock. Most of these new additions were made in the 1950s. And here's one of the loading dock doors. And of course we're up a few feet. And looking back where we just came from. The large door leads into what is called the engine room. There used to be a large ventilation fan in this wall. Looks like another small loading dock. It looks like this set of rollers could be lowered by a cable and winch, which you see here at the bottom left. The winch and what they call a snatch block. They would have been able to lower this set of rollers using the winch, and of course winch it back up. And it has some stands, as you see. When it came down, the stands would automatically set themselves in place. We are not sure about this, but my guess is maybe back in the day it was a pump house, because this factory would have needed a lot of water. So that could be original. And now we're back up at College Avenue on the road. This tower in the center of the photo is for the elevator shaft. This is the right side end of the building of the old Bluebell, Lenoir, North Carolina. There used to be an employees' parking lot along the front of this building back in the day. This is the entrance used for the Lenoir Trade Market. Donnell Clark's Aunt Jessie Abernathy and Donnell's sister Ann Bolick on the right. Okay, this is going to be a real trip. I love furnace rooms, and that's where we're going to go right now. The Bluebell Furnace Room. Well, actually, there's not a lot to see. We'll look behind this door here and see where that leads in a minute. But as you can see, it's completely dark down here. And it's basically an empty room. This room was called the engine room. And this is looking back at the door where I just came down the stairs. This is the fire evacuation plan that was thumbtacked to the door. Wow, look at that scale. Isn't that something? An unexpected find. Maybe to weigh incoming materials. Maybe to weigh outgoing shipments. Fantastic place. Look how big this is. Gosh, it goes on and on. I hope this shows up in low light. Huge room down here. Looks like there might have been a little office over here in the corner. Exit signs, one of which is illuminated. This is all cleaned out in here. Oh, it's a huge room. And we're looking through a window here. What that was, I don't know. Another doorway, another storage room. I'll just leave my camera on and walk in here. Another really big room. There's somebody's workbench, electric drill and tools. Another hole through the wall to talk to employees, I guess. Old dollies, which I wouldn't doubt go back into the 1900s. Looks like these are old turnbuckles. Let's move in for a closer look. These turnbuckles are special use turnbuckles. They don't have the common hook or eye end on them like most turnbuckles. Oh yeah, huge turnbuckles. What they were used for, I haven't a clue. And the men's bathrooms. See if I've got my little camera. If I do, I'll walk in here and take photos of that. Now it looks like we have some church pews. Why that is? Again, I don't know. I doubt that it's connected to this building. More pews and a little side room. These are from the First Methodist Church here in Lenoir, North Carolina, and I imagine I sat on these as a child. Okay, we're in another little side room down here in the basement. Some kind of platform. And another really big room. Partitioned off. You're looking at the original outside wall. There's the new wall right there. And of course these are the exterior walls. These side rooms and walls were constructed in the 1950s. And here is the far end of that room that I was just in. Bruce, Craig, and I were wondering why the end of this wall has a round edge to it. I believe part of this wall was removed, and it was best to make an edge like this. It was the easiest way to make it look nice. Just remember, these are the original walls, and many windows have been removed to make shelving. Part of the roof is gone, as you can see. Looking back to the entrance to the basement. Another side room down in the basement with more dollies. Boarded up windows. Really big iron beams. These iron beams were added probably in the 50s for more support. Metal covered wood fire doors like this were on a slanted track. A counterweight was used with a cable with a soft metal link like lead that would melt when you had a fire. When the metal link melted, the fire door would close automatically. This door shown is to the furnace room, also called the boiler room. Why that fence is there, I don't know. Old wash basin there. I bet that dates back. Now this is a true find right here. This old furnace. It is really something. Pacific Steel Boiler Company, Waukegan, Illinois. I tried to find more information about this boiler, but have not yet. Now this is some kind of a bin here. Maybe at one time it fed the furnace. It's hard to tell from here. Some of these old furnaces were worm gear fed. There's electrical panel. This is the left-hand side of the furnace. Old coal steam furnace, no doubt. There's a little bit of sunlight coming through the cracks in this building. You can see this huge ventilation fan. I imagine that was an exterior ventilation fan that was in the wall at one point in time. And you had a couple of exterior doors down here. There's one of them. And here's the other. And there's a little bit of sunlight coming through. And here is a ramp leading out of the furnace room back into the basement. And video back up the stairs from the furnace room from the basement to the upper level. And looking at these stair treads. Okay, I'm up in the tower as far as you can go, and I think it would be dangerous to try to go any higher. You can see these floor joists, ceiling joists, whichever, are rotten and sagging, and you can see way up in the tower at a window, but I see no way of getting there. There is a large, looks like an 8-inch pipe at the upper left, and I believe that goes to a water tank, a 10,000-gallon water tank, that may be in that upper level. Also, please notice the huge 12 by 12 floor joist very close together, which indicates that it could support a heavy load. Very interesting room. A lot of water problems here. Floor's rotting away. Unsafe to go out on this. But they actually heated it, I see. Now I'm on a little landing here looking into this room. Got some broken windows here that look out. And I'm looking down at the little stairway that's partially rotted. And on down the stairs where I go to the first landing where I came up here. Now I'm at the first landing looking down to the first floor. And this was access to the tower, and we could go no further. Now we're at ground level, and here's the stairs that lead up to the tower. And this leads back into the main first floor. And we'll walk through this, being careful not to break my neck. A little room here. Been some water damage. You can see the plastic. Those shelves were probably used for office supplies. And we'll have to put all this plywood back to keep the animals that Ann has from trying to come up in here. Valves like these are water control valves. This roof is now a rubber membrane roof. This valve is inset into the side of the building. The smokestack is 100 feet tall. These left side steps would have led to the mill houses. This building was called the opening room. A cotton warehouse was once attached to this building. Huge wood beam floor joist. This piping was used for the sprinkler system. This door rolled on tracks to open and close. This is a ventilation fan and shutters for the basement. Notice the fire bell for the opening room. This is the clean-out opening for the 100-foot smokestack. At this point, this building remains unidentified. A huge control valve laying on the floor of the unidentified building. The furnace room door and the unidentified building door. These metal stars are attached to threaded rod which help support the walls of the building. This area, I believe, was used for coal storage. It's right beside the furnace room. These huge wooden beams help support the roof. This overhang over the dock was added in the 50s. The restrooms are in this brick tower. When you see concrete block, you know that it's a new addition, probably in the 50s. A huge ventilation fan went into the round opening. Another small loading dock. A set of rollers for loading that can be lowered by a winch. This is the winch used to lower the loading rollers. Concrete block and a window that is not original to 1901. This tower is for the elevator shaft. Steps leading from the rear up to the right side of the building. Another view of the elevator shaft to your right. Just a guess, but this could have been a pump house behind the building for the building. This wall extends from what I think was a pump house all the way to College Avenue. And this wall ends here, College Avenue to your left. This is the metal roof and trusses of the new addition, the front addition built in the 50s. Exterior doors for the 50s addition. This is the original wall as seen from the new addition. The original wall of this new addition runs down the entire length on the left side. This is the new addition with the new concrete block wall to your right. Doors in the old wall as seen from the new addition. How old is this door hardware? I don't know. It could go back to 1901. New addition block wall on the front of the building from the inside. Many of the windows on the original and the new addition have been covered over with plywood. So many pipes and pressure regulators relating to the fire control system. Floor original to the 1950s. These are workstation numbers throughout the building on the floor. Supply closet in the bathrooms. The bathroom fixtures would have been from the 1950s. This large main original room, I believe, was called the Picker Room. You're looking towards College Avenue. Looking through one of two garage doors that were added in the 1950s towards College Avenue. These huge wooden beams have chamfered rounded edges to prevent catching on fire easily. Very expensive and very complex fire control system, and you can see where it was added. These support posts are wood, not metal. Lots of wear and tear around the bottom of these posts. Another workstation number. This office and tower entrance was boarded up to keep Ann's animals out. Entrance into the office area and the tower stairs. Ann Bolick, who I mentioned earlier, runs the Lenoir Trade Market now. A steam heater, and I'm sure this was added in the 1950s. This is the basement floor plan and was attached to the basement door on the basement side. These bathrooms are in the basement. According to Donnell Clark, these pews came from the First Methodist Church here in Lenoir, and I'm sure I must have sat on these at one point when I was a child. At this point, I don't know what this platform was used for. Original brick wall on your right and the block wall would be on your left, and that would be at the rear of the building. The roof on the 1950s rear addition is giving way. Some of my photos are real grainy because of such low light. This iron beam was added in the basement for the support of the main floor, in the 50s probably. I don't know why this room in the basement was fenced off. This is where the furnace room is. Some kind of control related to the furnace laying right in front of the furnace. Pacific Steel Boiler Company coal steam furnace. Looking back at the electrical panel to the left of the furnace. A wash basin in the furnace room. How old, I don't know. This is an exterior ventilation fan that would have been used in the exterior walls. This is the ramp leading out of the furnace room. This is the hydraulic spring closure for the basement door. This is the electrical panel to the left of the furnace. this is some kind of clean-out tool brush, but could have also been used to light the coal furnace. This looks like a temporary movable conveyor belt apparatus to me. Gear reducted and V-belt driven drives this big roller on pillow block bearings. You can see it used 2 V-belts. Maybe this was used to move coal. This was the only light in the basement. Fire control panel on the original basement wall. Another look at these huge original 1901 wooden beams. These are metal covered fire doors, wooden, interior, close automatically. A metal link melts and the door slides closed on the tapered metal track automatically. I don't know what this is, but it appeared to hold a spindle of thread threaded through the top area. Historian Bruce Craig checking out the stairway. This leads into the first floor, the main floor, the original floor. And this ceiling in the stairway has been added recently, because the metal floor joist support straps you see here were not used until recent years. This was once the exterior walls, and windows have been removed to make way for shelving. Again, the original wall and part of it has been removed and the corner made round with cement. I was so interested in this old hydraulically operated elevator. Bruce and I went into this elevator. Last inspected in 2012, it appears, and this elevator is no longer operational. Looking straight up from the elevator cage to the top of the tower, and you can see the metal guide rails. You can also see the first floor doors. And this is how I found out about Bill Bean. I talked to his wife. Bill has passed on. This electric motor drives a hydraulic pump through a flexible coupling. Another workstation number on the basement floor. Another view of a glue machine I found here, and this probably goes back to the 1950s. This unattached, unused valve was just laying there. Bruce Craig in a basement room that has furring strips. Evidently somebody was going to put up paneling or sheetrock. This water heater was marked as having been replaced by Shields Hardware in 1980. Someone marked tool locations on this wood panel, probably in the 50s. An exterior door closure, hydraulic closure. They don't make them like they used to. Employee Gary Barlow and historian Bruce Craig. This is the entrance to the tower. These stairs are still solid and safe. The tower roof, however, does leak. This is looking back at the stairway entrance from the office area from the landing. And this is the second floor in the tower and probably unsafe from water damage. The 8-inch pipe that you see at the upper left, I believe, was used for the sprinkler system. This is one of the most interesting photographs to me because it shows huge wooden beams very close together in the upper room of the tower, and I believe that I might find a water tank in there. We'll see later. As you see here on these water control valves, when it's open, it shows open. Another water control valve along with 3 side valves almost buried in vegetation. This is part of the fire alarm bells on the front of the building. Just a guess, but in 1901, this building had a well, and I believe it's located under this concrete pad. You can see the strap that was used if this was ever to be removed. This concrete pad is located right in front of the main steps at the front of the building. And this looks like a picnic table used in the 1950s. Most of these water valves were made by the Mueller Corporation. This one is missing a handle which could be locked. This wall and ramp in front of the unknown building, I believe, was part of the coal bin near the furnace. Looking at this 1/4-inch metal plate closely, it appears that it is to protect the wall, and that channel iron was bolted to the wall first, and then the metal plate was welded to it. Bruce Craig said that he thought this was a very early fire hydrant going back into the 40s or 50s. More very complex and expensive fire control system valves. I don't believe these chimneys are functional. I'll know more later. I don't know how old these dollies are, but Bernhardt Furniture Company rented this for storage in the 40s. It is possible that these dollies go back to the 1900s. This is the main electrical panel, and you can see the cutoff lever. This is the elevator door on the main floor. You can see where the new brick was added when they added the right side garage doors. This office addition is to the right of the garage doors on the main floor, as seen from the inside. I believe a water fountain, water cooler, was in this location in the office area. My son Billy Tate with a 1950s fire hose that he found in the office area. This toilet in the office area was boarded up, and I had to lean over the boards to take this photo. Many dollies throughout this building. This is a ceiling hatch in the office area. This is the furnace fire room door that closes automatically as described earlier. Another photo of a huge ventilation fan, belt driven. Again, just a guess, but maybe this was used to feed coal into the furnace. With the furnace door open, you can see the boiler tubes. Water surrounds these tubes and heat goes through the tubes to heat the water. This way, water could be converted into steam a lot quicker rather than not use these tubes. I stuck my head through the furnace door, and this is the photo of the inside. Another inside photo. This stovepipe with a damper leads to the smokestack from the furnace. This looks like some kind of water control device. I don't know what this is. You can see the base of the smokestack protruding through the wall. It would take a lot to break one of these beams. Maybe it was just rotten. These pipes appeared to have carried oil, but I don't know what they were used for. This is the soft metal that would melt, letting the fire doors close automatically. The elevator says model 1944. Could that be the year? I would think so. Someone had written on this drain pan the dates of testing. This pan at the very bottom with the writing on it is a drain pan, a catch pan for the leaking hydraulic pump. And where it's vented to, where it drains to, I don't really know. The flexible coupling in the center couples the hydraulic pump on the left to the motor on the right. The red tag is an inspection tag by a company out of Charlotte. I believe this pulley in the background would have operated the door for the elevator. So many valves and pressure regulators in this building. I found this in the basement, and it is a glue machine, and I would guess that it was probably used in the 1950s. Here's a little information on it. because of the metal joist hangers, I would say that repairs have been made to the floor of this recently. I guess this is an office door to one of the offices. This double brick wall with a space between it, I imagine, is a firewall. 1,000-pound scales, and part of it's mounted in the floor, and I could find no information on it at all. And I would guess that this is the fine adjustment to the scales. Another photo of the steps on the left side of the building, and these would have been used for Lenore Cotton Mill back in the day to the mill houses. Another photo of the sink near the furnace, and this looks like it could go back to 1901. The sunlight at the end of this room is where the roof is caving in. I have so many more photos of employees yet to come in future videos, future parts. This book from Superintendent Y.D. Moore is from the Bruce Craig collection. These next few photos were taken by my daughter-in-law, Angie Tate, and Angie applies with a special app an artistic touch, which I like. These are the controls and switches for the elevator. My son Billy and I are reading the information on the tag on this elevator. This is the basement door leading to the upstairs. The window to the opening room, a separate building on the left with an artistic touch. And this is the clean out for the 100-foot smokestack with an artistic touch. This is Bill Tate, Billy Tate, and Bruce Craig in the furnace room. The elevator is at the far end of the building on the left. Bluebell did not become a giant in the clothing industry, nor Lenore a thriving community by accident. How many times have you heard someone say they could have bought a certain tract of land a few years ago for $10 an acre, and today it is worth a small fortune? Not because of what it was then, but because of what it would become later. Someone said, never judge a man or a woman by what he or she has done, but by what he or she is going to do. I think you will have to agree that we in personnel have to do this all the time in recognizing the person that has potential rather than past accomplishments, and that sort of makes us different. As you know, Bluebell's days are numbered here in Lenore, and like many other buildings of distinction which has suffered the demise of this century, Lenore High, Smith Crossroads Ford, the Bank of Lenore, Lenore Post Office, etc., we will be closing our doors and walking away for the last time, leaving a lot of memories behind. One of my regrets is that we won't be around 100 years from now to see what Lenore has become. We have seen a lot of change recently with the building of the new mall, the new fire department, post office, high schools, and Lenore has changed her face downtown with the building of the new banks, etc. To some of us, the old landmarks still give us a nostalgic feeling, yet we see the new high schools which are saying to us again, don't judge us by what has been, but what will be in the future. Bluebell's location on College Avenue has been here since 1944. The building itself twice as long as that. We have fourth-generation people whose grandparents and parents worked in the mill in the early 1900s. A few years ago, we were mowing grass when the lawnmower wheel broke through the sodded grass and we discovered a deep well which had been used many years before, and no one presently working there knew that that was there. Apparently the rains had carried away the filled-in dirt, and only the layer of grass meshed together across the opening was left. Again, a reminder of what had been, which gave way to what could be. The nostalgia was almost overwhelming, as many of us thought of our parents and the many others who drank from the well in days when they were handsome and young while building this community for our generation. I deeply appreciate the association with you people. I think by knowing each other we have been more effective in our jobs. By sharing the expertise in this room, we have been able to accomplish the precision in work and have developed a tolerance for conflict. I think the key to this has been the fact that all of us share the same objective of having as much respect for people's personal worth as for what they accomplish. I know that all of you will continue to grow and share, and I hope our paths will cross again. There's more in store for Lenore, and I know all of you will be a part of it. Being the poetic and sentimental person that I am, I will leave you with this thought. Count your garden by the flowers, never by the leaves that fall. Count your days by golden hours, don't remember clouds at all. Count your nights by the stars, not shadows. Count your life with smiles, not tears. And with joy through all your lifetime, count your age by friends, not years. Thank you for being a friend and letting me share a part of your life. Good luck and God bless. Joanne Vanoy. Just take time and make sure your feet are situated. Don't get
Oh, I am. Trust me.
Billy has a real fear of heights, which he has partially overcome by painting his house. But he decided to abort this, and I don't blame him. I haven't been on a ladder in 8 or 10 years, and I was nervous about it too. So you're not high enough.
I can't. I know. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Okay. Well,
You know, I don't. And I don't want you to listen. I mean, I know this is important.
I'm going to see. Come on down. I'm going to see.
I'm just thinking about it too much. Is what I'm doing. And you know, I'm trying not to, but I am. And it's just.
No.
I got it out. I mean, if I did this off and on all day long, I probably could finally get used to it. But it just. Well, just be careful, Lord, please. I mean, I've got the ladder, so don't worry about that. Just take your time.
Well, folks, me and my son Billy are here at Bluebell on a beautiful Sunday morning, risking our lives to do this for you, trying to take video and photos of the tank, 10,000 gallon water tank that's in the top of the Bluebell Tower. This is a real experience. Nobody's ever done this. Okay, folks, let's all take a look here and hope this goes well. I'm a little nervous about being up this high. I'll be 74 next month. I shouldn't be doing this. But this is so important to me. That is a 10,000 gallon water tank. And you can imagine what 10,000 gallons weighs. I'll have to twist this camera around this way. The next video of the inside of this tower is with my Canon PowerShot camera, and the video is not high definition like the previous videos. I hope it is. I can't see the screen to know.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to see.
But it looks like it's recording. I'm shaking like a leaf. And now we're doing something nobody else has done too, and that is my son is going to lay in there and try to take a photo up the inside of that smokestack.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Honestly, it's not what I thought it would be. It's the whole thing's not open. Just I thought it would be one big hole, but it's really not. It's okay. This is a video inside the smokestack, the chimney, and this is where. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. This is where from the boiler it comes out into the chimney, and then it's got like a little corridor right there, and then it goes out to the very top, which is right there, a long way up. 100 feet. 100 feet up.